Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring some new to me makeup. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Today we'll be featuring a new foundation to me. It's a Sulwhasoo Perfecting Cushion. I picked this up because there was brightening as well as SPF 50+, so I wanted to try that. And then we also have this Cle De Peau blush that I haven't had a chance to try out on camera yet. And we also have a couple of Dior products. Actually, this powder people have asked about the Perfecting Translucent Powder Natural Radiant Blur Effect All Day Matte Finish. That's a really long title and it's upside down. I have mine in 2N. And then we also have the Dior Backstage Contour Palette. So I wanted to give this a try. And we also have the lip product by Chantecaille in Madeira. I think that's it for all the new products. Now the Sulwhasoo product is too light for me. I got it in 25, so I'm going to show you a little workaround in case you have foundations that are too light for you, especially in the summer months, instead of buying a new foundation. So I'll show you how I addressed the fact that this foundation is too light. But let's go ahead and get started. Starting with this Chantecaille Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream. Okay, now we're going to go in with this Sulwhasoo Perfecting Cushion. I decided just to keep this because it's kind of hassle to return. So we have the shade number 25, which is too light. So I think I'm just gonna apply right in the center because I already know it's too light of a shade for my entire face, or actually it's light for my middle of my face too. So you can see, and it doesn't adapt really well in terms of the shade. So I'm just gonna thin this out. So not even gonna apply it to my forehead. I'm gonna just avoid that area. Now this does have brightening and SPF. So I like that combination. I'm gonna apply it on my nose. I don't usually apply foundation to my nose, but since this is SPF, I will do that today. I do like the texture though. It's nice and lightweight. I'm gonna use one concealer today. I'm gonna use the PRAIRIE, so you can see what that looks like. This is shade 4. So it does get a bit messy, the applicator. So you can see how light number 4 is. That's really light. So that looks like everything's the wrong shade, but we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna fix this. We're gonna adjust a little bit because you can see the difference in my skin tone. That really tells you how light this is. This is the Chanel Le Beige. This is the lighter of the two. I'm just gonna take this and start on the exterior and move it onto the foundation itself so that we can meld these together. I'll do one side first, then we can see the difference. I'm gonna use it all over my forehead. Okay, so you can see the difference and how this is going to actually work. So if you have an issue with foundation that's lighter, like this cushion is too difficult to mix something with, or mix it with something. So kind of like a stick foundation. So that's why I'll go over it with something like this bronzing cream, which comes in really handy. So let's fix the other side. So I haven't tried building this up as a concealer. Let's just try. So that's the shade. It's not cool, it's a little bit warm. It just needs to be deeper for me. Actually, I wonder if this is like the shade Vanilla in the Chantecaille. Okay, let me just swatch them really quick on my arm and then I can show you. So this is the Sulwhasoo in 25 and this is Chantecaille Vanilla, the cushion foundation. Sulwhasoo is just a tad deeper, totally different foundation. So in terms of level of coverage, like I'm not able to really build this up to a concealer level. It's also more like a traditional cushion. Let's go ahead and conceal. I'm gonna just use Mocha here. The Chantecaille Real Skin Plus, just as a primer and to even this out. So this is another thing I figure out, if my forehead, not if, my forehead is deeper than the rest of my face, I just avoid at this point putting on foundation because it will look really mask-like. So then I just avoid it. And then I will powder on top though, just so we can get a little bit of cohesiveness. But let's go in with this new to me product. I tried this out just to see, but I have mine in 2N. So I don't have that much experience, but I did apply it just because I was curious. It says it's a perfecting translucent powder, natural radiant blur effect. This time I am powdering my forehead. Okay, so there it is powdered. I don't know if it really blurs imperfections per se, because I still see a bit of the discoloration here. It's nice. Let me just apply it to the other side and really take a close look. And I'm also gonna apply eyebrows. I just used the Gucci eyebrow pencil as normal. And I also used the Chantecaille Full Brow Perfecting Gel and Tint in dark. Now, when I went to go just finish up the powder, I noticed there was a lot of texture here, like there had been a lot of product built up, so I tried to buff it out and you can see what happened. I just pretty much rubbed the makeup off, so I don't know what is interacting here, that it's kind of taking apart the makeup underneath. I don't know if it's a powder or something else, or if it's the foundation, because this is new to me, but let me try and rebuild this and then we'll try powdering again. So I'm taking the Sulwhasoo, put a little bit here. Okay, then let's take the concealer again. So this is what I do if something has a problem. I will go and reapply when this happens, just spot reapply. And then this is Mocha, Cle De Peau. It's a little bit deeper. This powder, I did powder my forehead though. So let me just show you before I keep going, that this powder is more skin-like than other blur powders, because even though I've applied it, it's still reflecting the light. Nothing sparkly, but I think it's just the texture. It still reflects the light. So if you want something that, let's see, what do they call this? A natural radiant blur effect all day matte finish. It's not really a matte finish. It's got a reflective quality to it. Okay, so we're gonna leave it there and not mess with that too much, but you can see now it doesn't look as good. It looks more makeup-y, but let's let that settle in for a minute. Let's see what happens. Let's go in with the eye. I thought we'd just do a quick one and done. I'm gonna take the Cle De Peau. This one's in, what is this in? This one's in, the only one I have, 305. This one's in 305. Let's go ahead with let's go ahead with this color right here. The one that's like a grayish color. I have the Chantecaille Shade and Sweep brush. This is a really nice brush, by the way. Picks up the color pretty well. Let me try and turn this on its end here. I'm gonna go underneath as well. Let's just take a little bit of the deepest shade. It's gonna intensify it, but I just want a little bit of that here. Just taking the Chantecaille eyeliner brush, I'm gonna take this deepest shade and then apply it as I would an eyeliner right above the upper lash line, starting about halfway. So I start about halfway because my eye space is smaller, so I don't even go all the way in because that takes up more eyelid space. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of the Chantecaille Rose Water and add that to this and see if it will make this more liner-like. Okay, I'll do the same to the other eye. I'll probably tight line with Slate and then, of course, Chantecaille mascara. Okay, let's go ahead with this Dior, the Backstage Contour palette, and I'll try both, or actually I'll try on all colors for you. Let's go in with the lighter shade, the lighter contour shade. This one right here, it's nice and cool, and I'll use my Raymor's Ultimate Cheekbone brush. So I'm just applying it right on this side, this shorter side of it. So you can see the color right there. Again, nice and cool. Very much a contour. And I do apply it just a little bit higher. Let's go in, I'll clean the brush. Let's go in with a deeper shade over here. Now this one has like a reddish tone in it. You can even see it on the brush there. So you can see the difference in the shades. So if you want more of a contour, I would go with this first shade, the light shade, because I feel like that's more, this actually looks like a bronzer on me. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Now it looks like my eyes are puffy because I don't have 2 shades of concealer. I feel like they look puffier. No? And I didn't have like a lot of salt or anything like that. But I feel like that's what happens when I just use 1 concealer. Just gonna try and even out both sides. Apply some of the deeper shade here. Apply some of the lighter shade here. Buffing brush. We'll add blush in a minute, but let's take the highlighter. And I have used this a couple times just to experiment, but I haven't used it on camera yet. So let's take this lighter shade. Let's highlight this side. Now this does have a little bit of a unicorn kind of effect to it. And then let's go over here with the deeper shade. This one in the highlighter deep. This one has more of like a mocha-y tint to it. So I don't know if it's easy to see. It's kind of like my skin color. This is definitely a highlighter if you are deeper in skin tone, but I thought I'd just show it to you on. So I would definitely go with the lighter highlighter. Let's go in with the blush. We're gonna use the Cle De Peau blush. We're gonna go in with the lighter shade first. So this one right here, and I still don't have the actual case for it. You can see it picks up nicely. So let's check the shimmer on this. And I know I have highlighter underneath, but not everywhere. Has a pretty pink, cool shade. Let's bring it up to the front and see how it works. There's a nice sheen to this, but nothing sparkly. I think it looks very airbrushed if you like a subtle, cool blush with a bit of a reflective quality. And this appears, I kind of went heavy-handed just to see that you can bring this all the way up to the front, or if you have texture, it should work nicely because it's not emphasizing my pores. Pretty. Really nice, light, ethereal kind of blush color. But let's go in now with a deeper shade, and then we'll pop that right here. Now that appears to have a little bit more of a, either because I'm layering it, or I don't know if this itself has more of a reflective quality, but it's definitely intensified in terms of its reflective quality right here. Just sweeping it right above. Okay, now I just need to find a lip. I don't know what lip to put with this. Let me find something. Let's try this. This is something I thought lightweight might be nice with this. This is Madeira by Chantecaille. And I have one other shade by them, Beach Rose maybe, which barely shows up on me. So that's a really fancy lip balm, but this actually has some nice color to it. And as you know, I've been getting into fragrances and testing out a lot of them. And I do like to try them for a while before I purchase an entire bottle. So I do have a tester here. It's really beautiful, of the Chanel. It is the Paris Riviera. And I looked at the notes here, and this is why I love this. It says, it's a luminous fragrance with a sweet, tangy freshness of Sicilian orange and delicateness of neroli. And when it comes to fragrance, I love neroli. And then usually I'll avoid things that smell like food, except for citrus. I love bergamot. I love the scent of orange, lemon, those kinds of things. Grapefruit. So I love the combination. It's really light and pretty. Now this one does have a beautiful prominent neroli note. I know when I've seen neroli in the notes before, sometimes it gets a little bit hidden. So I do love that you can really sense it in this fragrance. Nothing overwhelming here. I love that it's an easy fragrance to wear. Let's recap the new to me products. The Sulwhasoo Cushion Foundation was really difficult for me to get a gauge on because the shade is so light. I think I was able to figure out kind of how to work around that. So this powder is interesting. If you want to maintain a skin-like quality while still mattifying, because I think that's what it claims, yeah, all day matte finish. I'm not getting a matte finish from this. I am getting a very radiant, because it says radiant effect. It's like I said, I applied it to my forehead quite a bit. It's quite radiant. And I know some people will really like that. But you can see even on that, let's see, can you see the reflective quality on the, see how it hits the powder? like that, and you can see there's a bit of a sheen. Again, not from any kind of particles, I believe, but more from the texture of the actual powder. So that's what I feel like I see on my face, that kind of reflective quality. So if you were looking for something like this, it's nice. It's not what I look for. I look for something more of an airbrushed quality when I look for blurring powders. It's not bad, it's just maybe not what I'm looking for, but for those of you who like that finish, I think it's unique. Yeah, nothing powdery about this. If you're looking for a non-powdery powder though, this one's nice. Oh, let me hold it right side up. Too neutral seems like it would be light for me. It actually, I think, deepened that foundation a little bit. So if you wear 25 in the Sulwhasoo or you wear vanilla in the Chantecaille, that might give you an idea of if this is too light or too deep for you. I feel like it's a little bit light for my natural color, but it worked with the actual foundation today because it was lighter. Then let's talk about this product. This was interesting to try. I don't think it's something that I will use a lot, but I think if you are looking for a nice combination of different products that you can layer, I think it's nice, but I don't think it was something I had to have, but I did want to try it. We'll see if I pull for it, but it's not something I'm super excited about. Nothing really amazing in there compared to other things that I have, but it's a nice compact palette if you're looking for those things. Okay, just had to change batteries there. Let's talk about the blush. This Cle De Peau is really pretty if you're looking for a cool pink shade. I think that first shade was really pretty, especially if you have a lighter skin tone. I thought it was beautiful because it does have a bit of a sheen to it without emphasizing texture, and that's actually something I was expecting from Cle De Peau. They're really great with complexion products, so I'm not surprised that their blush is also something that looks beautiful on, because I feel like they're very intentional and calculated about the products that they create in order to enhance and make the skin look more beautiful. This blush does exactly that. So I'm curious about the other shades now, but really pretty blush. And you know I don't love shimmer in my blushes, but I really like the sheen on this. I think it just makes the skin look better. That is one of the best things I think that blushes can do. I can't see it so small. This lip product by Chantecaille in Madeira. And I had Beach Rose initially, so I'm gonna swatch them next to them, side by side, so you can see right here. Because I picked up Beach Rose and I couldn't really see it on my lips because it is a lighter shade, and actually I think you can see quite clearly why you couldn't really see Beach Rose on me. So if you want something lighter, that's pretty, but for me, Madeira is actually something that you can see. So I really like the shade Madeira. Really comfortable, easy to apply, and I think it looks really pretty on and really fresh. But I just wanted to try some of these new to me items that have been sitting here, and finally I've had a chance to get to them. So thanks so much for joining me. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.